talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Paul George really making a difference here.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all four quarters.
George Hill out there with Ellis. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. Then it's Paul George. And it's Allen in at the fourth slot. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel. Here's George. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Luis Scola. For Indiana, they have shot just one free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game. Free throw good. Paul George.
2 shots.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Toronto leading by 12. Dishes it to Ross. Fires from deep.
Terrence Ross.
That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 5 assists in the game. Hill again. Lowry. From deep, Ellis. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Raptors shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. The Pacers making a switch here. Miles is checked in. And the Raptors also making a change. Joseph, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. Timeout called the Pacers.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Biyombo is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. And it's Powell in for Kyle Lowry. And there's the foul. It goes on C.J. Miles. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
Powell. And again, Toronto with the triple.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
They have yet to hit a shot, a real slow start here in the second half.
Pacers trail by 20. From deep, George. And the shot is good. George has got 19 points.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third. And, you know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
And the Raptors call time here. Hill, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Lets it go from deep. And Kyle Lowry with the 3. Lowry's got 6 points.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Stolen by Allen. And here we go with Allen running it up the court. They grab their own miss. Outside, George. And here's Hill for 3. And the Pacers another 3.
with the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Partner, that's assuming they can continue that hot shooting. But if they do, and especially if they can get a few stops, you have to think they'll make this thing interesting.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Foul. Elbow. 2.
First one falls for him. And some changes here for the Pacers. Turner's checked in for Lavoy Allen. Robinson comes in for George. Young is subbed in for C.J. Miles.
Well, we all know that #1 overall picks are incredibly valuable. I mean, they can change the course and face of an entire franchise. Last season, the playoffs were full of teams that featured #1 overall picks.
And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And we've got a moment now to check out the Eastern Conference standings and see where everyone is sitting as things begin to settle down just a bit through the midway point of the season. You look at Toronto and, of course, Indiana. They're tied right now. Third quarter action and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Young against DeRozan. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. DeRozan's got 14 points. And guys, teams with the #1 overall pick tend to go very deep in the playoffs. Just the nature of how the NBA lottery and rebuilding structure works.
Yeah, and in the playoffs last season, every team in the conference semis but one had a #1 overall pick on their roster. So that one team was the Grizzlies.
Here's Ross, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And here is our 2K leaderboard. These teams have been on fire over the course of the past 10 games. Fifth, the Raptors.
You have to be impressed with their shot selection. I mean, the discipline on that end and the unselfishness really is what allows those great numbers to show up.
Monte Ellis checked in for George Hill. And the Raptors also making a change. Johnson, he's checked in for Valanciunas. Hill up top. Young from outside. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Here's DeRozan. Clock at 6. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. DeRozan's got 16 points.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Ellis against Ross. And it's Ellis penetrating. And that one's good. Ellis has got his second basket of the night.
Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Toronto ahead, up 19. And we'll be back with you right after this. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. on the court for Toronto to start the fourth. They've got Lowry. Patrick Patterson is out there with Scola. Then it's Corey Joseph. And it's Johnson in at the 3 spot. Pacers trailed by 19. And Young kicks to George. Great D that time from Johnson.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
From 12 feet out. That doesn't go either for George.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Allen's checked in for Turner. And it's Hill in for Young. And then for Toronto, Valanciunas, he's checked in for Scola. Ross comes in for Johnson. And it's DeRozan in for Joseph. And Valanciunas kicks to Ross. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Allen. And it's Hill. That time the assist by Ellis. And it's 7 points for Hill. Raptors leading by 21. Lowry kicks to Ross. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Pass to Patterson. 6 on the shot clock. He dishes it to Ross. Here's DeRozan. And it's sent back by George. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Remember, for a long time, flopping was like the #1 concern in the NBA. I mean, it still happens a lot, but the rules have curbed it quite a bit. We have seen less and less flopping the last few years.
Timeout called the Pacers. Some doubted how the flopping fines would have worked. Overall, there have been less egregious flops for the better in the NBA.
Yeah, and there will always be room for embellishment, but I like the fines because it really does minimize the number of extravagant flops. Guys have adjusted, and they're not laying down as much as they used to.
The drive by Ellis. On the wing, Hill. The shot will not go. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Here's Ross. Allen with the rebound.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
It's stolen by Valanciunas. Kicks it to DeRozan. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Missed inside. The Pacers have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. And that one's good. George.
And he's finally getting the feel from beyond. His second 3 of the half right there.
Well, we all know how loud NBA arenas can get. I mean, last season there were some accusations thrown around that it wasn't all organic. I mean, some players felt as if some of the NBA crowd noise was artificial.
And the Raptors call time here. Some heavy accusations about artificial noise being pumped in last year. We've seen the issue in the NFL, talked about now in the NBA. Seeing another